Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your girl KIMMYD227. Just want to stop by and say happy Monday to you guys. Happy Monday. Um, so I just got off work and I just wanted to make this quick video to say hey, what's up and how you guys doing? I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Um, so yeah, I wanted to make this video um in response to the video that I made last night. um One of my YouTube sisters, or our YouTube sister, BBW Sweet and Sexy 631, she did a video response to the question that I had at the end of my video about the situation with the two gentlemen, or the one gentleman. Well, anyway, um, so I did talk to him, and basically the way the scenario went, Guy A escorted me to my grandmother's funeral. Guy B showed up to the funeral. I told Guy B that, I didn't think it was, I don't remember the words that I used, but anyway, he ended up leaving. But Guy A was offended because he thought that I had set everything up to have Guy B there, and I didn't. I didn't even know Guy B was showing up. But anyway, after we had all that had passed, Guy A started getting, talking crazy and talking disrespectful, you know. So we ended up getting into it. So that night when I got home and I called him, because I wanted to tell him exactly, I really couldn't talk the way I wanted to talk at the funeral. So when I got home, I called him and I told him exactly, what was bothering me. Like, I really didn't like the way that you handled yourself at my grandmother's repast. I don't know if you're not used to being in public with people. He had never acted like that with me before, and we had been out together many a time, so he had never acted like that before. So it was just a little weird that he was acting like that, talking inappropriately at the repast, and just the whole, I was just getting a bad vibe, period. But anyway, so he tells me, he thinks that we should just be friends because, I'm sorry. He thinks that we shouldn't be friends anymore because he didn't like the way I came at him. He also didn't like the fact that I had invited another guy to the repast knowing that he was going to be there. And I kept telling him I didn't invite him. We talked about it. He told me he wasn't coming, and I never knew he was coming. But anyway, so he had been calling me for the last couple of days. I hadn't returned his calls because I just really didn't feel like talking. I didn't feel like bringing up the whole situation again. I just didn't feel like talking about it anymore. And I just felt like I'll call you when I feel like talking. Right now, I don't feel like talking. So it is what it is. But anyway, I ended up calling him and talking to him. And, it was a really nice conversation. I do realize now that we are better off as just friends, is that it just shouldn't be a relationship, which it wasn't really a relationship. We were dating, we weren't in an exclusive relationship, but we were dating. So, I just didn't think, he was saying that I was petty and I was childish and, for coming at him the way I came at him, and I didn't think that I was. I didn't think excuse me, I didn't think that anything that I said, I wasn't nasty to him or anything. And I just told him that I didn't think that it was appropriate the way he was talking. So anyway, BBW Sweet Sexy 631, she did a response video to that problem. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Sweet and Sexy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Not just you, but everybody else who commented, inboxed me last night and was, gave me their opinion and told me what they thought. And I appreciate it. I took everything into stride before I called him. I listened to your video, and, I listened to everybody else's comments, or I watched read everybody else's comments and inboxes. Excuse me. I'm coming down sick again, you guys. My job is just a germ infested place. But anyway, so another issue I'm dealing with now is I have two friends. I have not spoken to either one of them since my grandmother's passing. My one friend, I haven't talked to her since the day after Christmas. I don't know if I did anything wrong, if I said anything wrong to her. Um, I don't know what happened. I just know we talked the day after Christmas. We were supposed to hook up and exchange Christmas gifts. That was the last time I talked to her. I called her for 3 days in a row. I kept getting voicemail. So I said, okay, well, when she's ready to talk, she'll call me. Never heard from her. I was posting stuff on Facebook. She was posting stuff on Facebook, but she never contacted me, never texted me, never called me, nothing. So I said, okay, well, when she's ready to talk, she'll call me. She texted me 2 days after my grandma, no, I'm sorry, the night that my grandmother passed, she texted me and said that she had saw on my cousin's Facebook page that my grandmother had passed, and that she was calling to give her, she was texting me to give me her condolences. And I texted her back and told her that I was feeling some kind of way about that text, because you text this whole paragraph about how you understand what I'm going through because your grandmother passed, and if I need anything, call you. If me or my mom need anything, call you and your mom. And just, I mean, I feel like all that you text me, you could have called. You could have called. You didn't have to. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Hello. Okay, I'll call you back. Bye. So I just felt like, that was just, I honestly don't know what happened. I don't know what went wrong in our relationship. We had not had a falling out with each other. We had not had an argument. None of that. So I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. But I'm thinking, I'm not a petty person at all. I'm not petty at all. I've always been the peacemaker. Whenever I've gotten into it with my sister, my cousin, anybody, I'm always the first one to call and say, we need to squash this, and we need to be, we too grown for this. I've always been the one to call and say something similar to that. But I'm at this point now where I don't think that I should be the one to call her, because I didn't do anything wrong. Like I said, we never had a falling out. I don't know. I don't know. I see her posting stuff on Facebook. I just don't know. Should I call her? Should I text her? Because I really, really want to know why she stopped calling me, texting me. I don't know, and I really want to know. But I don't want it to seem like I miss her. I mean, I do miss our friendship, but I don't want her to know that. I mean, I don't want her to think, oh, she's just calling me because she missed me. I just really want to know, like, what's the deal? What was the reason why you stopped calling me? Or what? I mean, you was not there for me. You knew my grandmother was sick. You wasn't there for me. And I just don't understand that, because I've always, any of my friends going through something, I'm always the first one that they call. Anything. Any of my friends have money issues, car issues, need a ride, need groceries, need a bill pay. I'm always the first one that they call. So I don't understand I don't know. But okay, so I just need to know, should I call her? My second friend, the last time I talked to her was the day my grandmother passed. She called me. I'm sorry. Yeah, she called me, and I told her I would call her back, and I never called her back. But I called her back the next day, and we were playing phone tag with each other. She ended up calling me that night, and this was the next night. I'm sorry. The next night, we started making preparations for my grandmother's funeral. We were over at my grandparents' house, and she called, and we were in the middle of talking to the funeral director, because the funeral director happens to be my uncle. So my uncle was over. We were talking about the funeral and things we were trying to get prepared, and she called. And I said, let me call you when I get home. And it was late when I got home, but I called her. And her boyfriend was over there, and they were having a little confrontation. And she was like, well, I'm going to call you back. I said, okay. I haven't heard from her. And I posted things on Facebook like, tomorrow's my grandmother's funeral. I hope I'm able to hold it together for my grandfather. I need prayer, guys. I just put stuff on Facebook the couple of days before the funeral, the day before the funeral, the day of the funeral, the day after the funeral, the couple of days after the funeral. I wasn't able to go to work because I was on funeral leave, and when it was time for me to go back, I still wasn't ready to go back to work. So I was posting stuff on Facebook, and this one friend was on Facebook every day as well. She never Facebook me and said, I'm sorry, I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it. Neither one of them made it to the funeral. I just feel like if you wasn't going to come to the funeral, you could at least send flowers. You could at least send me a message. You could at least send me a card, something. And I'm just not used to having friends like that. I've had friends that I've had since I was like 10, 11 years old, and we lost contact. But I just can't imagine being that type of friend. I'm just the type of person, when I'm a friend to someone, I'm a friend. No matter what. And no matter what. And I understand that people go through things. I understand that people have their own lives. And I'm not saying they're supposed to drop everything and tend to me. I'm not saying that. But a friend is supposed to be someone that you can count on no matter what. It's not like I needed them to give me any money or I needed them to take me anywhere. It was hard for me when I lost my grandmother, and I just needed somebody to talk to. I just needed somebody to say, Kim, it's going to be okay. Anytime you want to talk, call me. I just needed a listening ear. I had my mom, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my sister. I had people at work, and I just found it really hard that you could classify yourself as my best friend, but I haven't talked to you in weeks. And then the one friend, I haven't talked to her, like I said, since the day after Christmas, which is months. I don't understand that we went from being best friends one day to not talking for months. And I just don't understand that. And I find that really, really hard. I'm starting to feel like maybe you never were really my friend. And I just have a problem with that. I really have a problem with that. I just need you guys' opinion. Am I being... I don't know if I'm just feeling like this because it's my grandmother, and do I have a right to feel like this? And I know everybody's not like me. I know everybody's not going to be a friend like me. Nobody does the same thing as this person. I'm not going to be the type of person that you are. You're not going to be the type of person that I am. But I think friendship is just totally different. I think that it's just nothing to call somebody and say, you okay? How you holding up? Neither one of them has called me and asked me how I'm holding up, how my mom's holding up. My mom was at the hospital with my grandmother every single day. Before my grandmother passed, my mother was sick, couldn't talk, didn't have no voice. She was at the hospital with my grandmother every single day. And it hit my mother really hard. She was strong at first, but it hit my mother hard. And they knew, how my mother was going to see my grandmother. But even not only that, it was just never no calls on how you doing, how your mom doing, how y'all holding up, none of that. And I really have a problem with that. So, again, I just need to know what you guys think. Am I wrong for feeling like this? Do I have a right to feel like this? Because I want to call, for real, I want to call both of them, and I want to just tell them how I feel. But I don't want it to come off like I'm trying to dog or nothing, but I want them to know how I feel. Because I would never do anybody that I classify as a friend, I would never do that. I've done things for people that you would do for your best friend as just an associate to me, because that's just the type of person that I am. I'm just that type of person, and I look for people to be like that with me. And when they're not like that with me, I have a problem with that. I feel like if I'm gonna be like that with you, you should be like that with me. If you not, let it be known, or you gonna do this for me and do that for me. I have a friend like that. That anytime she need anything, food, her kids don't have no money, her lights off, she call me. When it's their birthdays, I take them gifts. I have a friend like that, and I go and I do for her. And we've been friends for over 10 years. She's never bought me a birthday card, and I'm cool with that because I know that's how she is. I know her situation. I know her financial situation. I just know, and I'm not expecting anything from her. But yeah, I just have a problem. I really have a problem with that, and I just need to know, what you guys' take is on that. So I am almost 15 minutes into this video. I'm not gonna hold this video up. I just wanted to know how you guys felt. I know I'm not the only person who's ever went through a situation like this, but this is the first time anything like this has ever happened to me, and I just don't know if I have a right to feel like this. I mean, I don't know. It's just really been bothering me the last couple of days, especially when I log on to Facebook, because we're all of us are still friends on Facebook. Now they don't really know each other like that. They know each other through me, but I became friends with both of them at a different time in my life. So we've all hung out together, but it's not like they're communicating on Facebook because they don't hang with each other like that. But I'm friends with both of them on Facebook, and I look at both of their Facebook pages, and they're updating statuses, and they're doing this, and they're doing that, and they're, and I don't understand how we were friends. I mean, we weren't associates, we weren't co-workers, we weren't bypassers. We were friends. I mean, we were friends. We did things that friends did. We did friend things, and and I told them things about me that nobody knew. They told me things about them that nobody knew, and I just don't understand what went wrong. I really don't. I don't know. Advice, please. That's all I want is some advice. And you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna get ready and cook me some dinner, and get ready for work tomorrow. And because it's been a long day today, but thank you guys for listening to me vent, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all have a nice evening. Bye.